Hey up everybody, I hope your day started well and your weekend's got off to a good start, whatever you're doing, wherever you are. I'm just doing my usual Saturday morning, sat outside waiting for Amy, and just thought I would do a little check-in. I haven't spoken to you for a while, this time on how I've got my head around weighing stuff. So before recovery, before this proper part of recovery, which I class this last 8 months, I used to weigh everything, and I mean absolutely everything, and I know you'll all know what I'm talking about with that. Every little tiny thing that was going to pass my plate or go into a cup got weighed and got measured. Measuring scales, measuring cups, jugs, the lot. I had the whole kit and caboodle. And it was something that I discovered quite early on when I started to really think about committing to recovery. So, January time this year, it was kind of the one behaviour that I figured was going to be the first hurdle for everything else. That if I could just start to get my head around and slowly start to break this behaviour, and that was going to open up a whole world of things, and it opened up things that I never even really thought that it would potentially open. Now, I've spoken before how absolutely in awe and envy I am of those of you out there that can go all in and just do everything in one great big shot. I think that's amazing, but it's never been something that I've been able to do. I tried it. It almost got to the stage where, for me, it was like this sort of almost an extra achievement, the fact, oh yeah, I'm doing it all, but actually I was doing nothing. So I decided to do a gradual and a phased exposure with the getting away from weighing and measuring stuff. Now, yet again, I've always been so fortunate to have an incredible care team, and also an incredible support network and family at home. My husband, I couldn't have done it without him, and I couldn't have done it without my nurses and the staff at day services. But the little things that I did do, the process I went through, you can do by yourself, as long as you always acknowledge that it is going to feel shit. You are going to feel dreadful, but you've just got to shout and scream and swear and stamp your feet. And over time, you feel less and less dreadful. And I think for me, that's the key to everything. But that's maybe another video. So my gradual phased approach to this started with, firstly, just my first month was about not writing anything down. So I stopped recording things. So I used to keep a record on my phone and a record in a notebook of everything I'd eaten and all the calories that it consisted of, and then would add it up as the day went on, and that would tell me, in theory in my head, that I was eating safely. No, bullshit. It was telling me what I had left for the evening, or it was making sure that I stuck within anorexia's parameters of what was classed as being a good day. And when I mean a good day, I mean a good day for anorexia. And what happened is that those parameters got less and less and less. So what one day was a good day for anorexia numbers and calories wise, the next day had to be a bit less, the next day had to be a bit less, and so on and so forth, until I was down to eating a stupid amount of food yet again. So what I did first and foremost is, month one is I stopped recording, and I deleted all the apps and processes I had on my phone, and deleted all the lists I had on my phone, and stopped physically writing down the numbers of things and what I'd eaten that day. Alongside that, the second thing I did in the first month was I chose 2 things that I thought were going to be kind of the easier options to not weigh, so that then it kind of kick-started me into the habit and the routine. So I chose fruit and vegetables. I thought that those 2 things in the first month was something that I could break the back of, and my word, God, I tell you, I didn't realise how obsessed I'd become about weighing until I'd started to not weigh fruit and veg, and realised that I was weighing lettuce, and I was weighing grapes, and I was weighing raisins, and I was weighing segments of satsuma, and it was almost like over that first month, as my logical brain kicked in and realised that how bullshit this weighing thing is, because of what I was weighing, it started to make it easier. So month 1 was not recording anything at all, and not writing anything down, and deleting apps, and not weighing fruit and vegetables. Then what I did like a collective approach. So month 2 was about those 2 things plus some. So every month became cumulative. Every month became bigger and bigger and bigger. So month 2 for me was free pawing milk and cereal, and stop weighing bread. I used to weigh bread. So the free pouring milk and cereal meant that then supper and breakfast was the two main parts of the day that affected. But also what it meant is that as the month went through and I was not free pouring milk, it was then I was starting to find that I was like getting a little bit more confident in the thought of putting milk in tea and coffee. Now that's something I've only just started to do, is adding not having black drinks. I did a video about that before, but it started to open up a little bit. I was using the same cereal that month, and I was using the exact same bread every single day, which I know some people don't advocate, but for me I had to keep some of the parameters steady whilst I was trying to break what was the behaviour for me in those early days. So month 2, was not weighing milk and not weighing or measuring cereal, plus the things I'd done on the the first month, and then it was not weighing bread. Month 3, I then started to expand, and I went into obviously the same things as the other 2 months, and then month 3 was about not weighing rice and pasta. So again, it was just I focused on another carb, because then that was going to open up areas that I could explore with in terms of different types of foods, and then also obviously that was then opening up some areas I could do in terms of eating out and social eating. What I'll do is I'll put on Instagram, I'll put a little picture, and I'll list it in the exact month order that I did things, in case people want it, because for me to sit here and go through 8 months is going to take too long. But basically that gradual approach, what it did, it just allowed my brain the time to deal with some fear foods as I was doing it, but start to see that actually each thing that I stopped weighing had a knock-on effect to other things, so that it then suddenly, like, sandwiches became quicker to make because I wasn't weighing things, and then that was opening up an extra little bit of time in the morning, which meant that me and Amy could actually go to school, and I could take her to school, and it wasn't going to be all rush panic on the morning. So there was a knock-on effect with this, but it was the one main behaviour that I had to crack, was not weighing and measuring stuff. So I suppose in this video I took a gradual approach. I chose some challenges to work on every month. There was other challenges going on at the same time, but cracking this was the most important. And I reckon I stopped weighing and measuring anything, I think, at about month 6, maybe 7. So currently I'm in month 9, so we're only talking 2 months ago. So 8 weeks ago I actually stopped weighing and measuring anything, apart from obviously if I'm baking, which makes sense. But yeah, but I did it gradual. I'll write you a list on Instagram of how I did it, and it is possible. Again, that's the thing I just keep saying, it is 100% possible, but you have to commit, and you have to acknowledge it is gonna feel shitty. You are gonna be stamping your feet and screaming and shouting and swearing, and the urge to get those scales out that damn drawer is gonna be horrendous. So if you can, ditch the scales, ditch the measuring cups. If you can't, because you've got the people in the house that use them, put them up high. I'm a short ass, I'm only 5'3". Anything up high I can't get to, so I can't use. Do something, get some support from someone, so that they're just not available. And I did it gradual, bit by bit. I'll put a thing on Insta of actually the months and the process that I went through properly, in case anyone's interested. But you can do it. Please try. Honest, it was the behaviour that really kick-started me to be able to explore and then do other behaviours. I'll do food hierarchy video at some point, because that, again, I know a lot of people don't like that, but for me it made bits and pieces of sense. But please, maybe this month, September, starts tomorrow, why don't we make it a let's not waste stuff in autumn start of things. See you soon, everybody. Have fun. Bye.